I never thought heartbreak would start with the words, "I need space." Tessa said it on a Sunday night in our kitchen, barefoot, clutching a mug she never drank from. The light above us flickered once, like even the apartment was unsure what was happening. We'd been together 2 years. Shared groceries. Shared laundry. Shared the stupid inside jokes couples think are private universes. And now she was asking me to stop being part of hers. "I'm not breaking up with you," she said, her voice soft but rehearsed. I need time to figure out what I want. No contact. A few weeks. I'll stay with Adrian." It landed like a riddle with no answer. 2 hours earlier we'd been planning holiday flights to visit my family. Now she was folding sweaters into a suitcase while I stood there, trying to look supportive instead of gutted. I hugged her goodbye because it felt like the only thing left to do. My arms wrapped around someone already halfway gone. She smelled like lavender detergent and shampoo, the details my brain tried to cling to as proof this wasn't permanent. Then she was gone, leaving her laptop open on the desk, her iPad charging by the couch. Our apartment hummed in her absence. The days after blurred together. Work. Gym. Microwave dinners eaten in silence. I told myself this was her process, not my punishment. Respect boundaries, give her the space she asked for. Still, the silence pressed on me like weight. The bed was colder, the apartment too clean. Every object reminded me of her absence. The chipped blue bowl she loved, the playlist still queued on the TV. Then my phone lit up. A message from Devin, my best friend since college. "Yo. Check Tessa's story?" I tapped, expecting maybe a coffee selfie, some quote about self-care. Instead, a sun-soaked beach, 4 girls clinking cocktails under palm trees. Caption: "Sometimes you just need your girls." Finding myself. I stared at it for too long, the glow of the screen painting my face in the dark room. She looked happy, radiant even. The ache sharpened, but I swallowed it. She wanted space. She wanted distance. Fine. I told myself it was just a trip. Just pictures. Just nothing. But the truth was waiting at the edge of that photo, barely visible. An arm. A tattoo. A ghost from her past. And I knew, even then, nothing about this was just. At first, I told myself not to look twice. One photo didn't mean anything. People crop strangers out of vacation shots all the time. But the longer I stared, the more that tattoo burned into my brain. A black and red serpent coiled around her wrist. I'd seen it before years ago, in old college photos Tessa swore she deleted. Kieran, her ex, the one she claimed was toxic, history dead to her, the one who cheated. My stomach dropped, but my mind scrambled for excuses. Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was coincidence. Maybe a random tourist with the exact same tattoo just happened to be at the same beach bar. Hope clung to the word maybe like it was a lifeline. But doubt is loud. It echoes in every empty room, asking questions you don't want answers to. Why didn't she mention this trip? Why go no contact with me if it was really about finding herself? Why does the arm in that photo look like it belongs to the man she promised was gone for good? I tried to ignore it. Went to the gym. Did laundry. Pretended the thought wasn't clawing at the back of my skull. But that night, staring at the ceiling, I remembered something. Something stupid, small, but damning. The iCloud. Months ago, she'd run out of storage and asked to share mine. I never touched it. Never needed to. Until now. My hands shook as I logged in, whispering to myself that I wasn't snooping, I was just confirming. But the truth is, the moment the photos loaded, everything I feared solidified. Uncropped. Dozens of them. Tessa and Kieran pressed together, drinks raised, smiles stolen at sunset. His arm around her waist. His mouth on her cheek. Her hand gripping his shirt like she belonged there. Each photo carried its own little death. And the timestamps were the nail in the coffin, upload starting the day before she asked for space. It wasn't confusion. It wasn't self-discovery. It was premeditated. I sat in the dark, screen glowing like a confession, fury pushing against heartbreak. The lies, the gaslighting, the quiet cruelty of it all. My first instinct was rage. The second, despair. But the third, that one was sharp, focused, almost calm. If she had secrets, maybe they weren't hers alone to keep. I sat at the kitchen table with the laptop glowing in front of me, the photos lined up like evidence at trial. Each one screamed the same story. I wasn't losing Tessa to space. I had already lost her to Kieran. My chest felt hollow, but beneath the emptiness was something sharper, harder. A sense of betrayal so clean it almost steadied me. I could have confronted her. Texted, I know. Called her and demanded an explanation I already knew I wouldn't believe. But that would have given her power again, the power to spin, to cry, to tell me I was paranoid. She'd gas at me once. I wasn't giving her the stage to do it again. So I did nothing, at least not to her. Instead, I looked outward, toward the person who deserved to know as much as I did. Bridget, Kieran's wife. Sweet, unassuming, the kindergarten teacher I'd seen in old tag photos. A woman who, right this second, probably believed her husband was at some conference, maybe sending her texts between meetings. She was living inside the lie I had just crawled out of. My cursor hovered over Facebook's search bar, pulse in my throat. Part of me whispered, don't get involved. Let it go. Walk away. Another part hissed louder, she deserves to know. You both do. I found her profile in seconds. Smiling in every post, videos of glitter-covered crafts and songs sung off-key with her students. Watching her, I felt sick, not just at Tessa and Kieran, but at myself for hesitating. If the roles were reversed, if I was the one being lied to, I'd want someone to tell me. I opened a new message. Typed slowly. Deleted. Rewrote. My hands trembled, not from uncertainty but from the weight of the decision. Finally, I kept it simple. Hi, Bridget. You don't know me, but you should see this. These are from your husband's vacation. The timestamps speak for themselves. I attached every photo, every kiss, every sunset embrace. My finger hovered over. Send. 1 breath. 2. Click. Silence filled the apartment afterward, broken only by the hum of the fridge. For the first time since she'd asked for space, I felt something like control. And then the waiting began. After I hit send, the apartment seemed louder somehow. The radiator hissed, the fridge clicked, the clock on the wall ticked like it was mocking me. Every sound was a reminder that I'd just crossed the line I couldn't uncross. At first, nothing happened. No reply. No notification. I started pacing, checking my phone every 30 seconds. Maybe she wouldn't see it. Maybe she'd think I was lying. Maybe I just detonated my own peace of mind for nothing. But then the ripples began. At 8:12 p.m., Kieran's Facebook relationship status disappeared. At 8:17, a mutual friend sent me a screenshot. Bridget had posted the photos I'd sent her. Not hidden in a private message. Public. With a caption that hit harder than anything I could have written. When your husband's conference turns out to be a beach vacation with his ex-receipts included. I stared at it until the words blurred. Within minutes, the comments stacked like bricks. Strangers dissecting, mocking, sympathizing. The internet wasn't whispering, it was shouting. By 8:30, my phone was vibrating nonstop. Devin, bro, is this Tessa? Another friend, you seeing this TikTok? Notifications flooded in, each one proof that the story wasn't just mine anymore. It belonged to the swarm. And then Tessa broke the silence. My screen lit up with her name, Tessa. Thanks for the comment, babe. Miss you too. She didn't know yet. Didn't know the wildfire was already burning behind her. She thought I was still in her pocket, playing the role of patient boyfriend. The irony almost choked me. Minutes later, the dam burst. 16 missed calls, back to back. Her voicemails slid from pleading to furious to desperate. You had no right to involve his wife. You're ruining lives, Ryan. Please. Please. It's not what it looks like. But it was exactly what it looked like. And now the world was watching. I sank into the couch, pulse racing, torn between satisfaction and dread. Because while part of me wanted to savor the justice, another part knew I'd lit a fuse with no way to predict the size of the explosion. Somewhere across town, Tessa was scrambling. Somewhere else, Bridget was uploading. And I sat in the middle, waiting for impact. The storm wasn't coming. It was already here. By morning, the internet had swallowed Tessa whole. Bridget's TikTok wasn't just a post anymore. It was a series. Part 1 showed the photos I'd sent her, laid out in order, timestamps glowing like neon indictments. Part 2 was doorbell footage of Kieran kissing her goodbye before boarding his conference. Part 3, credit card receipts from the exact resort where Tessa had posted her selfies. Each video ended the same way, Bridget's face, steady but wrecked, staring into the camera with a voice that didn't shake. This is my life. This is my marriage. And I refuse to be lied to. The views weren't numbers. They were an avalanche. Millions by lunchtime. Tessa, oblivious at first, uploaded another photo. Her on the sand, Kieran's arm wrapped proudly around her shoulders. Caption: Paradise with my person. The comments hit like artillery. Your boyfriend's looking for you. Not the soft launch when his wife already hard launched the truth. Check TikTok, sweetheart. The internet's already watching. She deleted it within the hour, but the damage was done. Screenshots multiplied like spores. Her Instagram locked, then vanished. My phone rang and rang, her voice unraveling in the voicemails, fury, panic, sobs. You've destroyed me, Ryan! You don't get it. This was closure. Please, please answer. I can explain, but there was nothing to explain. Nothing left to salvage. And yet, it wasn't her unraveling that struck me hardest. It was Bridget. Her calm precision. The way she weaponized the truth without raising her voice. She didn't beg or rage. She just opened the curtains, let the world see, and walked out of the room. By nightfall, Tessa was pounding on our apartment door, mascara smeared, her voice raw from crying. Let me in. Please, Ryan. We can fix this. Through the peephole, she looked small. Not the radiant woman in beach photos, not the confident liar who said she needed space. Just small. I didn't open the door. For once, I didn't let her control the story. The internet, cruel as it was, had already chosen its ending. And deep down, so had I. The fire was burning, and I wasn't going to pull her out. In the days that followed, the noise never stopped. My phone buzzed with strangers' opinions, friends' half-whispered questions, even distant relatives suddenly interested in my side. The story had escaped me completely. It wasn't mine anymore. It belonged to the internet, chewed up and spat out for clicks and pity. At first, I tried to keep up, scrolling through comment sections, watching Bridget's steady updates as she moved her belongings out, documenting the quiet strength of leaving. Each video was like a mirror. Her courage made me feel both exposed and strangely absolved. She hadn't crumbled. She had transformed. Tessa, on the other hand, vanished. Her socials scrubbed clean, her number disconnected within days. No apology, no explanation. Just absence, like she'd never existed outside my memories in those cursed photos. One night, I found myself at the same kitchen table where it all began. The laptop still sat there, silent and heavy. I opened it and pulled up the folder again. For a moment, I hovered over the images, her laugh frozen mid-frame, the ocean curling at her back, Kieran's arm looped around her waist. Proof of betrayal, proof of love, proof of something I couldn't define anymore. And then, slowly, I deleted them. One by one. Not out of forgiveness. Not out of forgetfulness. But because I realized I didn't need them anymore. The truth had already burned its way through my life, through Bridget's, through theirs. Keeping the ashes didn't make the fire less real. When the last photo disappeared, I closed the laptop and sat in the dark. For the first time in weeks, I felt quiet. Not healed, not whole, just quiet. like the storm had passed and left behind a hollow sky, waiting for something new to fill it. Outside, the city buzzed on, oblivious. Inside, I let myself breathe. I don't know where Tessa is now. I don't know if Bridget sleeps easier, or if Kieran ever learned what it feels like to choke on his own lies. Those answers don't belong to me. All I know is this: endings aren't clean. They're messy, jagged things. But sometimes, if you're lucky, they leave just enough space for a beginning. And in that silence, I finally stepped into mine.